The rain fell in angry sheets that night, pounding against the broken windows of the old neighborhood like it was trying to wash away all the sins it had seen. Through the storm, faint cries echoed from a crumbling house on the corner, the kind of house people avoided, the kind where pain lived behind closed doors. Inside, a woman lay on the floor, her trembling arms wrapped around her 3 little girls, as her husband stormed out, cursing the heavens for giving him 3 useless daughters. Her name was Emily Grace, fragile, bruised, yet still holding her babies close with the kind of strength only a mother knows. She whispered to them through swollen lips, "Mommy's here. Mommy's not going anywhere." But deep inside, she wasn't sure how much longer she could survive. Across the street, a man named Daniel Carter sat in his truck, drenched after a long shift at the construction site. He was a single dad, raising his own son, Eli, after losing his wife in childbirth 5 years ago. His life had been hard, bills unpaid, nights cold and silent, but he had learned one thing through all his struggles: no one deserves to face pain alone. When he heard the faint cry of a child through the rain, something inside him shifted. He got out, walked toward the house, and froze when he saw the bruised woman clutching her children on the floor. For a second, Emily thought he was another threat. She shielded her daughters, whispering, "Please, don't hurt them." Daniel knelt beside her, his voice low but firm. "Ma'am, you're coming with me." She blinked, confused. "What?" He looked around the shattered room, the blood on her hands, the fear in her eyes. "You can't stay here. Pack whatever you can. You and the girls, you're coming with me." At first, Emily resisted. Years of abuse had taught her not to trust easily. But when Daniel helped her stand, gently, without judgment, something in his eyes told her he meant it. He drove them to his small home, a modest place with warm lights and the faint smell of cinnamon from the cookies Eli had tried baking earlier. The little boy peeked shyly from behind the couch as Daniel helped the girls settle. Emily felt out of place. She'd never known kindness without a price. But Daniel made sure she felt safe. "You don't owe me anything," he said simply. "I've been where you are. Just, let me help." That night, Emily cried quietly in the guest room, watching her daughter sleep peacefully for the first time in years. Days turned into weeks. Emily started healing, physically and emotionally. Daniel fixed her broken shoes, taught the girls how to ride bikes, and made them pancakes every Sunday morning. For the first time in forever, laughter returned to Emily's life. Still, the scars ran deep. One afternoon, while folding laundry, she asked, "Why are you doing all this for us, Daniel? You barely know me." He smiled sadly. "Because someone once did the same for me. When my wife died, I was broken. A neighbor took me in, helped me raise my boy. I promised myself if I ever saw someone drowning like I was, I'd pull them out." That night, Emily sat outside under the stars, whispering a prayer she hadn't said in years: "Thank you for sending us someone who sees us." But peace never comes without a fight. One evening, Emily's abusive husband, Mark, showed up, drunk and raging. He'd found out where she was through a neighbor. He kicked the gate open and screamed, "You think you can take my wife and kids, you lowlife?" Daniel stood firm, shielding Emily and the girls. "They're not yours to hurt anymore." Mark lunged forward, but Daniel blocked his blow. Years of hard labor had built Daniel's strength, but what fueled him that night was something more powerful: a father's heart. The police arrived moments later, called by Eli, who had hidden inside and dialed for help. Mark was taken away, still shouting empty threats. Emily fell to her knees, trembling, as Daniel wrapped her in a safe, steady embrace. "It's over," he whispered. "You're safe now." Weeks later, Emily filed for full custody and started working at a nearby cafe. Daniel often helped her get there early, watching the kids until school started. Slowly, she began to smile again, not out of habit, but out of hope. One morning, Emily found a small box on the kitchen table. Inside was a simple key and a note that read, "For the first time, you don't need to ask permission to be free. This is your home too, if you want it." Tears filled her eyes. She looked at Daniel, speechless. He smiled, the same gentle smile that had saved her life once before. "You and the girls deserve a home where no one ever has to be afraid again." Emily hugged him, whispering, "Thank you for giving us back our lives. Months later, their small house became a place of laughter, healing, and second chances. The girls called Daniel Uncle Danny, and Eli proudly introduced them as his sisters. And one evening, as the sunset painted the sky gold, Daniel took Emily's hand and said softly, "You know, when I said you're coming with me that night, I didn't just mean to safety." She looked at him, smiling through tears. "I meant," he continued, "you're coming with me into a new life." And for the first time in years, Emily didn't look back.